What's going on, guys? Welcome back once again to Trash Film Home Video, where today we're going to be talking about the film Terrifier 2 and its subsequent Blu-ray Region B release, which is this. That's what I have in my hand. Terrifier 2 was one that I knew that I wasn't going to be able to see in theaters. It wasn't playing around me. I think the closest it was playing was about an hour away, and it only played there for maybe a week. And if I'm honest, I don't really like going to the theater anyway. I never have. Even when I was a kid, it wasn't one of my things. Because you see, when you go to the theater, you have to see a movie with a room full of other people. No. So I knew I was going to have to either catch it on streaming or a physical release. And this beat the US physical release, so I had to pick it up. But I'm going to back it up. We're going to back it up to Terrifier, because I don't think, given my thoughts on Terrifier. So Terrifier, this seemed to be one that you either loved or you hated. I wouldn't say that I loved it. I definitely didn't hate it. Terrifier reminded me of a time in my 20s when I was like searching out the most extreme, and typically you find the most extreme in the low budget world. Things like August Underground, the August Underground trilogy, murder set pieces, not the overly censored Lionsgate release, but the original release, which I have over there, which I should have grabbed, because I did grab this, because this reminded me of these kinds of movies. And I remember when I got this tape, it was Cinema Wasteland. My friend Jamie, who wrote for Ultraviolet magazine, was like, hey, you want to see some crazy shit? He hands me this tape, and this is a screener copy. Now, if you know anything about August Underground, originally Fred Vogel wanted to place these tapes kind of all across, I think it was New York. He lives, or I don't know if he does now, but he's from Pittsburgh. Not from Pittsburgh, he's actually from Jersey. Lived in Pittsburgh. Boy, this is going off the rails. You know what? I'm not going to edit it out. Originally, he was going to put them on park benches and just see what happened, but decided against that. But these kinds of movies, this is the kind of thing I remember watching this. I was like 22. I was still at home. So when I was watching this, I was in my room at my mom's house. And I remember like being very close to the stop button if I would hear her come close. Because it was like, she's going to think I'm a damn psycho if she comes in here and sees me watching this. And Terrifier reminded me of those kinds of movies. Those kind of dangerous little low budget things. Couldn't get and couldn't see the kind of stuff that was in those movies in any other horror movie. So that's where Terrifier got me. And David Allen Thornton, his performance, those two things really got me kind of liking Terrifier. So Terrifier 2, mind you, Terrifier cost $35,000. That's not a lot of money. For Terrifier 2, $250,000. Still not a shit ton of money, but a hell of a lot more than 35 grand. Pretty much picks up where the original Terrifier left off. We go back, we're back in that morgue, and Art is resurrected, and he sets his sights on a brother and sister pair, Sienna and Jonathan, played by Lauren Lavera and Elliot Fulham. For some reason, we kind of find out why. We kind of don't find out why. There's also something else I like about the Terrifier films, is that they give you a little tidbits of information, but they don't hand it to you on a diamond encrusted dinner plate. Like every other movie, it seems like these days. They have to be explained. Everything has to be laid out perfectly for the viewer. I don't know about y'all, but that makes me feel dumb. Like, you think I'm too stupid to figure this out? That's just the way it comes off to me, at least. So we do get a bit more story here. We do get a bit more, but we don't get it all. The story here is there, but it's not fully fleshed out. It's still kind of like the original Terrifier, just a little bit more. And some of that more is one of the best parts, in my opinion, of the film, which is who I like to call the little demon clown girl. The little demon clown girl. Why do I say demon? Well, because in the back of this, it says, after being resurrected by a sinister entity. Okay, so a little clown entity. See, I like demon girl better. He returns to Miles County with an appetite for murder, mayhem, yada, yada, yada. She's great. I don't know exactly what she's supposed to be. I guess if she's a demon or if she's an entity, she's part of art. Whatever is evil or whatever art is, it's also in her. She's part of the same group or species or whatever. Because I don't really know what she is. I don't know if she's a demon. I don't know if she's an entity. I don't know if she's a... But anyway, I really, really enjoyed that. So, like I said, there is a bit more story here, but it's not like we get a beginning, middle, and end to a certain story as in those two. We know that he's after them for certain reasons. Those reasons are a little foggy, but it doesn't really matter because everything else is so amazing. I'm gonna put some negatives out there first. This thing is 2.5 hours long. 2.5 hours long. It's a long ass horror film. That's a long movie, period. Did it need to be? I don't think so. This could have been cut down, I think. There are certain sequences in this that I think didn't need to be as long as they were, i.e. the dream sequence. That could have been cut down a bit. There seemed to be a lot of like, there at the beginning of the sequence, just kind of her like looking around at everything, trying to gain her bearings. Things like that. You could easily get this down to 2 hours, and 2 hours is still a long freaking horror movie. But the acting overall is better, but it's still not amazing. This is still low budget cinema, so we're not going to get performances like we get in, let's say, Hereditary. It's just not going to happen. But that's okay. Honestly, that's really all I have for negatives. I mean, the positives in this is I really like that we get to learn a little bit more about art, or at least get hints as to maybe where he came from. I do think that the lead does a really good job in this, and I think she's someone that is believable as someone that could stop art. Little brother, maybe not so much, but the lead here, definitely, I think that they picked the right actress for that. The thing that steals the entire show is the effects work, which was done by Damien Leone, the writer and director, and a few other people. It was not a big crew. It was not a big crew of people. It was a very small crew of people, and they did a lot of effects. And they all look so good, so realistic. Damien Leone is a self-professed Tom Savini fanatic, and you can tell. You can see the influence there. Overall, Terrifier 2 still has that kind of low-budget spirit, but we just get everything that was in Terrifier, and we get it a little bit better. We get a little bit more of it. 2.5 hours more of it, maybe a little too much, but I think we could cut that down to something that was, as I said, more of everything that you want. If this is something that, sounds up your alley, I would jump on this. I really enjoyed Terrifier 2. I think that Terrifier 2 is, I would say, leaps and bounds better than its predecessor, and I hope we get more. When it comes to this Blu-ray, there isn't much here. The film looks fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. The only thing we get here, as in features, is a little behind the scenes, which actually made me appreciate the movie more. I want to say it's about a half an hour long, and it's kind of like a production diary. And this is where you get to learn that is a very small group of people making this film, and they worked very hard on it, and they worked long hours, and they're also a very tight-knit group of people. You can tell that they're a tight-knit group. I honestly thought, until I looked up the names, which they still could be, I thought it was like his dad and brothers and cousins, which I guess it could be like cousins and things like that. But they don't have the same last names, but they could be still related. It gave me that feel, which just made me enjoy, the movie that much more, because when you realize what a small group of people this was and how hard they worked on it, you know that they loved, or had to have loved, what they were doing, loved what they were making, and that kind of stuff, it shows on screen. It shows on screen no matter what kind of a movie you're making. If you care about it, if the people behind it really believe in it and love it, even if the movie's not for you, you're gonna be able to see that effort. And that effort is here. You can see it, you can feel it, and I can't recommend Terrifier 2 enough. If this is the kind of horror you're into. It is very gory. The murder scenes sometimes go on so long that you're going, okay, there's no way at all that this girl could even be forming words. She would have bled out or be dead by now. But that's kind of the beauty of this movie, is that it's so over the top that even the extreme violence doesn't come off as nasty or mean-spirited. So there we go, guys. Terrifier 2 gets 2 thumbs up from me. If you're into this kind of thing, if you're into kind of a little more horror on the extreme side, if you're a gore hound, if you love practical special effects, this is one you gotta get. Will I be picking up the American release? You damn right I will be. You damn right I will be. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for spending this 10 minutes with me. And what do we got on the horizon? I don't know. We'll see, okay? But we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.